Welcome to the Make and Design Podcast. I'm your host, Carina Gardner. On this podcast, we're unraveling the everyday joys and dilemmas of design, making, and business. For makers who want to be designers and for designers who are makers, this is your inside scoop to help you grow your business and bring more creativity to your life.
Today we're going to talk about profits and digital design. So those of you who have come to a boot camp, you know I am always talking about digital designed products because their lifetime is so much longer than a contract. And I really think it's a great way to build a massive portfolio, a massive product offering, and make profits. So many classes, so many educational things out there are telling you that you need to get a contract with a physical company or a manufacturer. And a lot of that has to do with just traditionally, that's the way it has always been. It really has been that way for years and years and years and years. You know, designers or commercial artists, that's what they used to call us, used to, make the art. Some of it would be, physical, like we would, this is before computers, you're doing screen prints or lithograph or any number of other things to get the look that you were trying to do. And then you would, sell that work to, an agency or a corporation. Or it was, the opposite. You worked for a corporation or you worked for an agency and you were working for an advertising client. Things are so different now. I mean, the industry has changed so much in the last 10 years. And I have been doing this now for 14 years. And I feel really lucky that I started in the field when I did. I would have started earlier, but I was working on my master's, my Ph.D. And so that really led me to coming out and really starting to design and build my own design business at a time where digital was starting to make a lot of sense. And so because of that, I have a very strong footing in the digital world, and it has always brought in 95% of my income. So I for sure have made money as a creative director, right? I've made money in my company, Miniloo. I've made money with all of my contracts for fabric. Some of you know I did a brand deal with Desert Book. That's a independent small bookstore chain here in Utah and Arizona and Idaho. And so I've done a number of branded deals. But what has really struck me is that throughout the years, the core of my income, once I was able to get it started and going, has actually come from digital products. And so because the market is such, and there's all these designers trying to make money in digital markets and other places, what happens is that the best designers kind of rise to the surface. And those are the designers who have very specific niches. It's the ones who are really digging in and building a lot of products. And it's the ones whose design work are a level up. So much of the coursework I'm seeing out there right now really teaches one thing, and that's Illustrator, like how to actually use the software. They really rely on the hope that you're a good enough illustrator or a good enough artist that you're going to be able to produce the kind of artwork that will rise to the top. And what I've seen is that that's not usually the case. And the reason for that is because there's actually a number of things you have to do as a designer. That's why it takes 4 years to get a design degree, right? That a lot of people think that they can get in an 8-week course, right? 8 weeks, like they think equals a 4-year graphic design degree. And that's just not the case. So am I telling you to go back to school? No, I'm not. I'm just telling you that your expectations need to be realistic and you need to find things that's going to work for you and be, make a lot of sense. That's why when I built my program, Design Suite, it is 1 year long because I just knew at minimum designers had to have a year in a program and have substantial amounts of coursework. We have 17 courses in our program in order to get them to a place that made sense. I mean, I literally do this because, would it be easier for me to sell like an 8-week course for a couple $1,000s? Yes, it would. It would absolutely be easier. but I don't do it because I'm not going to promise you that you're going to make it in this industry on 8 weeks. I don't feel good about that. And I think anybody who comes out of the academic programs, anyone who's been a creative director, and I've done both of those things, knows that. And I don't like people throwing their money away for something that's just like the easy win. Like they're like, okay, I think if I do this, I can become X, Y, and Z, when it's just not the case. It just rarely happens. So that's why we do what we do in my program. We like to make sure that people actually end up as designers. And then those that really do get like a fabric contract, we want to make sure they're not one-off designers. How many times do you see, a fabric designer who only ends up getting one line and then they never get another line again? That happens very often because people like get really excited about the fabric line, but they're not actually designers. They haven't built themselves up in a place. They either got lucky or they had a specific thing going on, and they haven't really built themselves up into a full-blown designer with the confidence level, because part of it is confidence and mindset, to create the second, the third, the fourth line, which is what I'm really interested in doing with my designers. I want designers who actually end up being next level up, because that's how we know that the market isn't really oversaturated, because they're able to get good jobs, make money as designers. Like, that's the goal. And I think that's all about that profitability piece. It really does come from that digital design piece, because there are so many things, and I talk about this in Design Bootcamp, and if you want to learn more about that, please sign up for one. Those are, let me give you the address, carinagardnercourses.com/design bootcamp. I think that's what it is. But I just really think what happens is you can really pay attention to those work smart strategies and what you're building in your business, and that's the thing that's going to propel you forward. Like, knowing actually the strategies that will get you there. Okay, you guys, here's the other thing going on. We have never done this before. This is brand new, and if you're just hearing about this, we are running for the first time ever a profitable designer workshop, where we're going to be talking about what it really actually takes to make profits as a designer. We're going to talk about my 3 main strategies, and we're also going to be showcasing some Design Suite members who are doing this and how it is really helping them. And my goal for you is, especially if you've come to a boot camp, this is the next level up. Okay, now if you haven't come to a Design Bootcamp, you can still come to this. We will not be pitching or talking about Design Suite. We will be talking about, how to actually make profits as a designer. Like, we're going to be really focused in on that. And I think my whole goal is it helps you really start thinking differently about your design business. All right, guys, hope that helps. If you want to join that Profitable Designer Workshop, you just need to go to carinagardnercourses.com/profit and come join us. If you use the code podcast, if you're listening to the podcast, if you just put in the word podcast, I believe it will give you a $50 off. So we think it's a steal of a deal for you to learn a little bit about becoming profitable.
Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.